Funga mlango. Funga mlango. All right, good afternoon. Well, you are just in time for the 1 p.m. bulletin right here at Younib TV. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. My name is Cliffe Omondi, and we have a lot lined up for you, including our first story, which is an update on Pope Francis' health. Now, on Sunday, Catholics worldwide devoted part of their service to prayers for Pope Francis, who was reported to be in a critical condition on Sunday. Pope Francis has been in Rome's Gemelli Hospital for the past 9 days after being admitted. He's receiving treatment for double pneumonia. Church leaders have called on congregants to pray for the 88-year-old pontiff, who, despite having fallen ill in recent years, continues to actively fulfill his responsibilities and promote peace amid conflicts in various nations.
Even it all for the gospel. So I'm admiring him also, and we pray for him in this particular moment in which his health is really weak and in danger.
My prayer is that he gets well. With having been a shepherd for all the years, he has a lot for us to gain from him.
The voice of the Pope is so important at the moment. The world is full of hatred. And he's a voice of love. He echoes what Christ told us 2,000 years ago. So we need him a lot.
And now, away from the Vatican, religious clergy of the Catholic Church, especially the bishops, have been engaging the Ruto-led administration in a war of criticism. Nyeri Archbishop His Grace Anthony Muheria has been on the forefront of this exercise, with this latest gun being pointed at the government's new health plan, the SHA. Our very own Alfonso Uma prepared the details of this contention and has this to report.
In the ever-evolving landscape of Kenyan politics, the Catholic Church has remained steadfast in its duty to hold the government accountable. Recently, the clergy led by Archbishop Anthony Muheria called out the government for excessive publicity rather than execution. He says that the government is not an advertising agency, emphasizing that leadership should be about action and not mere words.
There has to be less rhetoric. We have to stop advertising and act. Government seems to be constrained to advertisement of government. Advertisement of government projects, advertisements of plans. Government is not an advertising agency. It is an agency that implements actions. That's what we want to see. We have to move from advertisement to government. We should not spend all this energy that we are spending in trying to defame, in trying to ridicule, and trying to even sometimes give unnecessary excuses.
But not everyone welcomed his sentiments. Kapsaret MP Oscar Sudi dismissed the remarks through his X account, alleging that the clergy was fueling tribal divisions rather than offering constructive criticism. On the other hand, Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi defended the government's approach, stating that informing citizens about its activities is crucial for transparency.
Jambo lingine ambalo ningependa kusema ni kwamba jukumu la serikali wakati wanafanya maendeleo kulingana na katiba yetu ni lazima tufanye kile wanaita public participation. Kwa viongozi wetu wa kidini mnaelewa vizuri, hawa wanasiasa wanaelewa vizuri. Kuna viongozi wengine hata wanatumia nafasi zao kwa jukwaa la kanisa, wanasema serikali isiambie watu wanafanya nini, wafanye tu. haiwezekani. Kulingana na katiba ni lazima tuwe na public participation, tueleze, kwa sababu huenda tukisema tu serikali ifanye, labda watafanya kitu ambacho kitakera wananchi na wananchi watasema that is dictatorship. Kwa hivyo kuita serikali kama advertising agency ni kupotosha wananchi.
National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula weighed in, insisting that it is the government's duty to tell the people what it is doing. But this raises the question, should the government focus on reporting progress or advertising plans? While communication is necessary, there is a fine line between accountability and over-publicizing intentions. The Catholic Church believes that governance should be judged by actions and not just projections. After all, plans, if not executed, remain mere words. This isn't the first time the Catholic Church has taken a firm stance. In 2023, Bishop Philip Anyolo of the Archdiocese of Nairobi rejected a 5 million shillings donation from President William Ruto to Soweto Parish, reinforcing the church's independence and commitment to upholding integrity. From governance issues to social justice, the Catholic Church has remained resilient in keeping the government in check. As public scrutiny grows, one thing remains clear: governance is about action and not promises. So the question lingers, will the government listen? And more importantly, will it act? Alphonse Ouma, Younib TV, Nairobi.
Thanks, Alphonse, for that story. President William Ruto commenced his week-long tour of the coast by witnessing the docking of the Norwegian Dawn cruise ship at Mombasa Port, which carried 2,200 tourists and more than 1,000 crew members. Ruto has credited the tourism sector's growth to effective collaboration among stakeholders, citing records that indicate a revenue collection of 450 billion shillings from more than 7 million domestic and international tourists who came to the country in 2024.
Tutaganya. Tukamchagua. Kufika pale ametumia hiyo kiti kumaliza watu ya Mount Kenya. Ameanza na Rigathi Gachagua, amemfukuza. Akarudi akafukuza Metheka. Sasa amepanga jama ya kumfukuza Martha Koome. Na amepanga pale kotini anahonga watu kufukuza Martha Koome. Lakini mimi nakuambia rais, ukifukuza Martha Koome usikanyange hapa Meru. Mimi nataka nikuambie, ulifukuza Rigathi Gachagua, watu ya mlima wakanyamaza. Ukafikiria ni waoga. Tunakuambia rais, wewe panga jama ufukuze Martha Koome, na wewe ukae Nairobi usikanyange hapa Meru tena ukifukuza Martha Koome. Pigana na mama rais, ulipigana na mimi Rigathi Gachagua, mimi ni mwanaume. Wachana na Martha Koome, ni mwanamke. Bora unapigana na wanawake. Can you fight your fellow men? Si ndio? Apigana na wanaume? Awachana na huyu mama. Na huyu mama anafukuzwa kwa sababu amekataa kuwa mtu ya Yesu.
Now switching gears to politics, former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has warned against any plot to impeach Chief Justice Martha Koome, claiming that it is a conspiracy to sideline the mountain region of Kenya. Gachagua, who appeared to be angry with President Ruto, warned him against igniting Meru County's anger if he outs Chief Justice Martha Koome. Here is the report.
Tutaganya. Tukamchagua. Kufika pale ametumia hiyo kiti kumaliza watu ya Mount Kenya. Ameanza na Rigathi Gachagua, amemfukuza. Akarudi akafukuza Metheka. Sasa amepanga jama ya kumfukuza Martha Koome. Na amepanga pale kotini anahonga watu kufukuza Martha Koome. Lakini mimi nakuambia rais, ukifukuza Martha Koome usikanyange hapa Meru. Mimi nataka nikuambie, ulifukuza Rigathi Gachagua, watu ya mlima wakanyamaza. ukafikiria ni waoga. Tunakuambia rais, wewe panga jama.
We apologize for the hitches, the technical hitches that we have experienced there. And now to our next story. Due to outstanding arrears, the Rural Urban Private Hospitals Association, RUFA, has provided guidance on suspending SHA services in private hospitals starting today. During the service suspension, hospitals will still offer emergency care and patients will be directed to a hospital they prefer. Individuals admitted before the 24th under SHA will keep receiving treatment, and prearranged appointments like dialysis will remain unaffected. In the case of patients who are admitted before the 24th of February, that is tomorrow, so any patient who is already on the hospital, they should continue receiving care under existing terms until discharge. The treatment shall not be altered in any manner due to this temporary suspension. Once stabilized, patients who opt to exclusively use either their SHA medical cover or their MAKL cover should be referred to a hospital of their choice. Appointments that will be made subsequent to Monday, unless there is a concrete effort by government to solve this issue, only those appointments after Monday shall be affected. So patients who have prior appointments that were scheduled for Monday should continue to be served. And now tension escalated in Mutaragon, Kipkelion West in Kericho County, as residents set fire to 12 houses, a school and an entertainment joint, following the murder of a KDF officer on Saturday night. It is claimed that a bartender cut the late Ezekiel's bet after an argument at a bar. He died while being treated at Kericho Referral Hospital. The incident has resulted in locals counting losses and a family in grief.
Waliweza kupigana, mmoja wao akaweza kukatwa, ambaye pia ndio mwanajeshi wa special units, amegraduate juzi, ingawa hata graduation haijafanyika. Akaweza kukatwa, akafikishwa hospitali ya Kipkelion, baadaye akapigwa refa aende hospitali ya Kericho. Nilikuwa pale, aliweza kuaga.
Moto ikatoka kwa shule ikaingia kwangu, ikachoma manyumba yote, ikaisha. Kukimbia kujaribu kupoesha moto, wakanifukuza nikaenda. Mpaka pesa zilikuwa kwa nyumba, marawe, mahindi, vitu, hakuna kitu yenye tulisaidia, hata kitanda. Tulipaki hivyo na watoto.
Kama serikali ingeona, kama ingenisaidia mahali kidogo tu ya kuweka hata nyumba kidogo, halafu sasa nianze waone kama majirani ataniokoa, kwa sababu hakuna mahali. Hata ukiangalia watoto kama hawa, hakuna mahali sasa leo nitaingia. Vitu kama ya party certificate yote hakuna.
Tulie vijana wetu jensi, tuende nyumbani, tukaa huko, serikali shughulike na hii maneno. Chameni haki, ninaomba tu, watoto kama hawa ni wadogo haki, watahangaika, tutaenda wapi? Kama saa hii usiku tunajiuliza, kweli tutarara ama tutafanya nini?
Following a horrific attack on Saturday evening that resulted in an unknown number of fishermen being killed and many others injured, a security operation is currently taking place in the Todonyang area of Turkana County. Now, as per the locals, fishermen from the Ethiopian Dasanak community initiated a counterattack against Kenyan fishermen who had allegedly killed 3 individuals in a worsening resource conflict. The Kenyan government has not disclosed the exact number of casualties, stating that it is still working on restoring calm in the area. Ruto.
In the case of patients who are admitted before the 24th of February, that is tomorrow, so any patient who is already on the hospital, they should continue receiving care under existing terms until discharge. The treatment shall not be altered in any manner due to this temporary suspension. Once stabilized, patients who opt to exclusively use either their SHA medical cover or their MAKL cover should be referred to a hospital of their choice. Appointments that will be made subsequent to Monday, unless there is a concrete effort by government to solve this issue, only those appointments after Monday shall be affected. So patients...
President William Ruto commenced his week-long tour of the coast by witnessing the docking of the Norwegian Dawn cruise ship at Mombasa Port, which carried 2,200 tourists and more than 1,000 crew members. Ruto has credited the tourism sector's growth to effective collaboration among stakeholders, citing records that indicate a revenue collection of 450 billion shillings from more than 7 million domestic and international tourists who came to the country in 2024.
As has been said, there will be 8 other cruise ships that will be docking in Mombasa. We expect the numbers to rise as Kenya becomes a safe destination. We will be changing our visa and our ETA so that we can make it easier and seamless. Let me repeat, make it easier and seamless for those of you who are visiting, so that there is no paperwork, there are no issues, and we have agreed with the management of the port.
Tourism is peaking, and Kenya is emerging as one of the favorite destinations for cruise ships.
Statistics are there that for every 1 tourist that visits Mombasa, direct and indirectly, we have opportunities of 4 people being employed.
The people with your hospitality.
That for every 1 tourist that visits Mombasa, direct and indirectly, we have opportunities of 4.
So that there is no paperwork, there are no issues, and we have agreed with the management of the port.
Tourism is peaking, and Kenya is emerging as one of the favorite destinations for cruise ships.
Statistics are there that for every 1 tourist that visits Mombasa, direct and indirectly, we have opportunities of 4 people being employed.
The people with your hospitality, how you welcome us.
Let me repeat, make it easier and seamless for those of you who are visiting, so that there is no paperwork, there are no issues, and we have agreed with the management of the port.
Tourism is peaking, and Kenya is emerging as one of the favorite destinations for cruise ships.
Statistics are there that for every 1 tourist that visits Mombasa, direct and indirectly, we have opportunities of 4 people being employed.
The people with your hospitality, how you welcome us, so that's the big thing, and probably this is the main factor.
And now let us get sporty. Harambee Stars will finally play at home after nearly 2 years when they face Gabon on March 24th at Nyayo National Stadium, serving as a test event ahead of the CAF African Nations Championships (CHAN). The match is part of FIFA 2026 World Cup Group F, where Kenya seeks to revenge for their 2-1 defeat to Gabon after the latter came back from a goal deficit to clinch victory. Here is the story.
And we have all agreed that we are on the right track. So by the end of March, we shall be having all the infrastructure ready in place for us to be able to organize this CHAN without any hitch. To confirm this, CAF have given us the clearance and to go ahead to organize the Kenya-Gabon match at the Nyayo Stadium. So that's a clear indication that we have done a lot of work.
We're going to launch the campaign, the Pamoja campaign, mid-March to just announce how the event will run across the 3 countries. The promos on media will launch on 1st of April. We will start seeing the billboards and all the ancillary support staff going up.
That brings us to the end of our bulletin this afternoon. Thanks so much for staying with us, and continue keeping it Younib TV for our subsequent programs. My name is Cliffe Omondi. Have a beautiful afternoon.